evening. I'm Peggy Scott Laborde, and welcome to Steppin Out, spotlighting the New Orleans area's arts and entertainment scene. Seated at our table tonight, Deborah Burst, photographer and author of the book Hallowed Halls of Greater New Orleans, a true tribute to the churches. Good to see you. Hello. And she is back. Yay, Poppy Tooker, host of the weekly program Louisiana Eats on WWNO Radio. And Poppy, it is so good to see you.
I'm so glad to be back.
Absolutely.
Thanks for having me.
Welcome, welcome back. Steven Forster is with us, New Orleans advocate, Party Central photographer, with his brand new exhibit that opens this weekend called Celebrity. Hey, great to see you, Steven. And theater critic Alan Smason, editor of the online Crescent City Jewish News. And we also have with us Vince Vance, here to play.
Drink this, it's good for you.
Some
Jangle, jangle, jingle. Here comes Mr. Beagle.
And to talk about his holiday sing-along a little later, we really want to say hello. And we want to thank Ricardo Pustanio and Jay Richard, who they build the crew of Mid-City Parade, but they let us use this wonderful tribute to Mr. Bingle. And over the next few weeks, you'll be seeing him too. And I think that's becoming Vince Vance's good friend. So thank you, Ricardo and Jay. But now it's time to go to Poppy.
Well, obviously, it's the most wonderful time. I know I start singing that around Halloween,
Just
and I
in
just
case
keep
somebody
it up.
doesn't realize you had a heart attack?
Well, I had two little heart attacks.
Okay,
but
and so we are
I'm
very,
fine.
very
It was
fortunate to
just
have
3
you.
weeks ago, and I'm like,
You should be in bed, darling.
I'm back from the dead and better than ever,
Yeah,
you know. So, but thank you, Peggy.
We're so glad you're
I'm
here.
fine. I'm glad to be
Okay.
here, and it's time for the Revion.
Yeah.
So let us begin to Revion, and there are Revion menus all over town. And this year, the prices range from every year, I don't know how they do it. The gumbo shop, always the cheapest at $34. And the high price this year is Restaurant August, which is $97. But I just picked out some of my very favorites. And so that includes Brightston's. And Brightston's, for $48, you get oyster chowder with bacon and fennel, or his delicious filet gumbo. Then there's a beautiful salad course that comes next. Then you can have sea scallops with acorn squash puree and Louisiana citrus marmalade. There's roast duck with dirty rice, tart dried cherry sauce, mashed sweet potatoes. If you never had that, you never lived. And then, of course, his sweet potato bread pudding with pecan praline sauce or eggnog creme brulee. How festive is that? $48, Brightston's. Then, you know where my heart is these days, at Tujague's. And it's Revion time at Tujague's, and it's $45. And if you haven't
That's a
had,
good price.
it's a really good price for really incredible food. Seared yellowfin tuna with sweet corn chow chow and lemon vinaigrette, or oysters en brochette. Or you can have fried oyster spinach salad. There's soup du jour. The third course, this is really a good deal, $45. Petite filet mignon with confit garlic butter, or lamb chops with a brandy mushroom sauce, or house-made gnocchi with Louisiana blue crab and wild mushroom cream sauce, or Gulf fish on the half shell with Creole corn mush. So many choices, it's almost the whole menu. And then, of course, for dessert, bread pudding or the Poppy-inspired grasshopper pie. So then we're going to move back uptown to the Upperline, where once again, it's a fantastic bargain. It's $45. And what Joanne is doing up there is, of course, her first course of turtle soup or gumbo, or, love this, a glass of Madeira wine with spiced pecans. Second course, her classic original fried green tomato with shrimp remoulade, or her crispy Louisiana oyster trio. There's the duck andouille etouffee. The third course, savory slow roasted duck with the garlic port or ginger peach sauce, or the sauteed baby drum meuniere. You can have Creole veal griots with Parmesan cheese grits. You know how delicious this all is at the Upperline. It's $45 for 4 courses. Everywhere you go in town, they're 4-course menus. And you had asked me, Poppy, people are asking Revion lunch. Well, there is no such thing as a Revion lunch. However, Café Adelaide, Monday through Friday, talk about fun. You go, there's bells for guests, there's 2-course lunch deals that range from $16 to $22 with 25-cent martinis. The entrees change, but good examples are catfish with potato salad, drum on local succotash, and all through lunch, Monday through Friday, strolling carolers.
All right. And you have a show and tell here
I
on
do
this
have
table.
a show and tell here.
This?
It's time to do Christmas shopping, and if you have a true kitchen lover, here is what comes in the original Besh box. This is Holidays from the Heart. It's $55. Inglewood pecans.
Oh my gosh. Oh.
It's something to help you with your pie crust. It's vanilla beans, a saint's ornament, John's favorite pastry scraper. He even tells you what music to listen to. He'll tell you no chef ever uses a pot holder, instead a really good quality towel. And you can do this one time for $55. You can do 3 months at $160, where you get the big game. That might be the Super Bowl box, the Mardi Gras box. There's 6 months, and for 12 months, you also get a copy of his new book. What a fantastic present for a real John Besh delicious food lover.
Okay, thank you so much, Poppy.
Thank
and
you.
we turn to Deb, and this is a perfect time of the year to celebrate some of New Orleans' churches, many houses of worship, and that you focused on. And we'll show some while you're talking. So was this, it sounds like a labor of love. Was this something you'd been wanting to do for a while, Deb?
Yeah, so I started writing about her historic churches back in 2003 and 2004 when I first started writing, and I actually had some columns.
You're a busy freelance writer, we should say that.
Yes, freelance writer, although I think that may have changed because I really enjoyed writing this book because you get to do everything. You get to do the history, the research, you interview all the people, you get to really dig down deep into the community, which is, let's face it, the churches are the nucleus of the community. So I got back to my freelance career. Katrina changed things, stopped writing about the churches, and then I interviewed Anne Rice in 2008, and we started talking about St. Alphonsus Church because she had just come out with her memoir. And I said, Anne, I really want to go back to writing about historic churches. I might do a book one day. And she said, let me know how I can help.
And she did, didn't she?
Yes, she did.
So she did the foreword for you.
Yes.
Now, this is, it's not only focusing on the churches, but you also talk about a gentleman who helped build some churches, too.
Yes.
It's people and places.
Right. Philip Cazalet was one of the people I met, I saw his work. He passed away in the 80s. But he is really a legend when it comes to building Catholic churches and schools. But he started out building breweries. He built Falstaff Brewery.
Oh, right.
And I met his family in doing the column, Historic Church column, and I promised to write about him in more detail at some point.
Oh, well, but you did, and let me just point out that you also talk about adaptive uses from churches, and that is what used to be a church, but is now the Redemption Restaurant, which is also known as Christians, which was also aptly titled by accident, because it was Chris Ansel who had been a previous owner. But how long did you do this? For a few years then, working on it, huh?
Everybody asks, it must have taken you several years, and I look at them and I said, 9 months.
Oh, wow.
It was like delivering a 20 -pound baby.
And you have a lot of some signings coming up in the next few days, too?
Yes, from farmers market to the St. Alphonsus is having their Christmas concert Wednesday night, that Fun Under the Frescoes. I'll be there signing books. And the various retirement homes love me because they can identify with this book and the churches, because a lot of them went to the churches.
And you have, I know, a website. What's your website for more information?
DeborahBurst.com, and I have my church galleries there. So if people want to just take a peek at the churches, they can. And also you can order the book from directly from my website.
And you took the photos as well. Let's reiterate that.
Yes, I did all the writing, all the photograph, my first book, and I did it in 9 months.
Well, congratulations on that, baby.
Yeah, it was a very ambitious project.
And speaking of photographs, and something completely different, Mr. Forster, you have been documenting New Orleanians, some famous, some not famous, just plain folk, for how many years now? Like 25 or 30 at least, huh?
Yeah, '84 was my first column.
Okay, so almost 30 years, and for many years for the Picayune. And a few months back, you moved over to New Orleans Advocate, and you're doing
Party
covering
Central.
Party Central, I love that.
Yes.
But tell us about this exhibit, which opened this week.
Well, my first actual exhibit was at the CAC in 1978. So now, 35 years later, I get to go around the corner. And I'm at the Boyd Satellite Gallery, and it's going to be a lot of fun.
Brian Batt.
Wow.
Yeah, that's the invitation,
That's
and
great.
it's Brian Batt and Adrian Hatcher, and there's Kim Kardashian, and you get to see there's a
Oh, wow, that's a
Barbara
great photo
Walters
of you and Barb.
and Angelina Jolie. And Mr. Drew Brees.
Now, some of these are portraits, but others are sort of caught on the fly, too? Or?
Yeah, well, it's there's Ethel Merman and
Oh my
Kaiser.
gosh.
And yeah, I went back through 35 years to find what I thought.
Was that at the Blue Room at Ella Fitzgerald?
That was at the 1979
Jazz Fest?
She was the headliner for the
Auditorium?
1979
Yeah.
Jazz Fest,
Yeah.
and
Wow.
that was at the Theater of Performing Arts.
Oh,
And
look how
Reese,
darling, yeah.
who was born in Metairie.
Wow, I didn't know
Not
that.
many people realize that one.
And
yeah.
so you get to walk around and live through 35 years real quick. You can
Do you have a favorite? And I know people probably always ask you that.
There's so many. It was interesting putting this together. There were some that I actually had forgotten that I had taken. So I was excited when I saw Barbara Walters, and I was excited about a lot of them. I think because I'm such an Ella Fitzgerald fanatic, that survived all these years. That was exciting because I had lost that negative for 25 years.
Oh, my
So
goodness.
when I
She's
found it, I could prove that I actually had photographed her.
And your website for more information?
StevenForster.com.
All right. Thank you so much. Congratulations.
Thank you. Please
and
come.
now we are going to the other side of the studio through the magic of television because we get to visit with Vince Vance, Vince Vance and the Valiants. But he is here on a different occasion because he has a children's book called The Littler Angel, which I think we're going to show you the cover of this. And he will be doing some children's performances at Deanie's, and they start this weekend. And that's at Deanie's Seafood on Iberville Street. And what Vince was telling me is that this is kind of harkening back to the days of when you and your mama used to go to Canal Street and see the windows. Deanie's is actually decorating their windows and having Vince play this weekend and next weekend. So we're going to turn around the camera and you're going to play for us a song that Vince Vance and the Valiants made extremely popular. That you wrote.
I wrote it.
So and the name of the song, sir?
All I Want for Christmas Is You.
Go right ahead.
Oh, let's see if I can remember it now. Take back the holly and mistletoe, silver bells on string. If I wrote a letter to Santa Claus, I would ask for just one thing. I don't need sleigh rides in the snow. I don't want a Christmas that's blue. Take back the tinsel, the stockings and bows, 'cause all I want for Christmas is you. I don't need expensive things. They don't matter to me. All that I want can't be found underneath a Christmas tree. You are the angel atop my tree. You are my dream come true. Santa can't bring me what I need. All I want for Christmas is you. expensive things, they don't matter to me. All that I want can't be found underneath a Christmas tree. You are the angel atop my tree. You are my dream come true. Santa can't bring me what I need. All I want for Christmas is you. All I want for Christmas is you. And all I want for Christmas is for the Saints to go back to the Super Bowl.
Thank you so much, and we'll hear more from, thank you, Vince.
Thank you, music lovers.
And we'll hear more from Vince a little later with a tribute for children of all ages, right? All right. And we're over to Alan for something much more serious.
Well, it's serious but fun. This is Deathtrap.
Yeah.
Playwright Ira Levin wrote Deathtrap and produced it on Broadway for a 4-year run beginning in 1978. Over 1,800 performances. It was considered one of the best, most successful plays of the time. Well, some of us may also recall the movie that was made with Michael Caine, Christopher Reeve, and Diane Cannon a few years later. The latest incarnation of Deathtrap is over at the Shadowbox Theater, and it's running now through the next 2 weeks. It's directed by Frederick Mead. The cast is quite good, with James Wright as playwright, Sidney Bruhl, Margot Fanning as his wife Myris, Adam Stevenson, who is making his New Orleans stage debut in the role of Clifford Anderson, a young wannabe playwright, and then smaller roles by Doug Barden as lawyer Porter Milgram and Rebecca Myers as the psychic Helga Tendorp. They complete that cast. The play is noted for a number of plot twists. Essentially, it's a play within a play, as the action on stage is oftentimes placed onto the printed page as use for a possible stage hit. And it's one of those shows that makes for an interesting evening of theater, great performances, and considered direction. Deathtrap runs only until December the 15th, which is a week from the Sunday. So make plans to go see that. You will enjoy it. Now, over to the National World War II Museum. At the Stage Door Canteen, they're having a swinging Christmas. Indeed, once again, Victoria Reed, the entertainment director at the National World War II Museum, has assembled a holiday show that is worthy of attendance. This is a joyful outing with Courtney Bowe, Mandy Ridgedale, and Christina Perez, known as the Victory Bells. And there you also see a bona fide crooner, Ryan Fischer. Ryan was last seen, by the way, in My Way. That was the Frank Sinatra presentation that also stored Courtney and Christina on either side of him there. And then, of course, Mandy's in the middle. There's no speaking in the show itself. It's all songs, but you never miss it because really the dancing and the excellent costumes by Victoria Reed are very, very well done. They start out with It's the Most Wonderful Time of the Year. They go into The Wish You the Merriest. If you remember, that was a song that was done by Frank Sinatra and Bing Crosby. And Bugler's Holiday. They even do a version of that, which you not believe. You have to hear it to see it, to believe it, etc. Don't miss the rendition of Kate Smith and Bing Crosby's Silver Bells by Ryan Fischer and Christina. And of course, Mandy's soulful rendition of Go Tell on the Mountain. My goodness, it is a tinge of gospel that you have to hear, and you will love it. Of course, there are lots of other favorites like Sleigh Ride and Jingle Bells. I loved hearing Ryan channel Der Bingle. That's the other Bingle, by the way, in songs like Bells of St. Mary. So get on over to the Stage Door Canteen. They're going to also do a big, big show for New Year's Eve. We'll tell you about that. 3 big shows, actually, on that night. Now, over to the Mid-City Theater. They have a very unauthorized children's Scientology pageant, which is going to be revealed. And just as the Book of Mormon a few months ago satirized religion, well, the NOLA Project is putting on a satirical look at the Church of Scientology. Every part of this play is absolutely the gospel, if you'll pardon the phrase, and it's taught, if you will, by the children of the Scientology church. The expression "out of the mouths of babes" comes to mind, and A.J. Allegra and his troupe of players are directing this with straight faces. I don't believe that the audience will have as many straight faces as they have on stage. Again, it's going to be running through December the 21st at the Mid-City Theater, and Again, that opens tonight, so we'll mention that. And speaking of kids, at the Rivertown Theaters for the Performing Arts, it's Annie, the beloved Adams and Strauss play. And Annie is starring none other than Bree Hollis, who toured with the show nationally as Annie.
Boy.
And Kurt Owens will be Danny Warbucks. And there's a picture even, I think we had, of possibly of Sandy. And if we don't have it, Sandy may be underneath the crowd of kids there. But ARF, that's all I can say. Annie will be playing for 3 weekends. And they actually were so besieged with people wanting to see this that they've added a additional performance on December the 19th. It'll be at 7:30, not at 8 o'clock on December the 19th. That's a Thursday night. They just added that, so check that out as well.
All right, thank you so much, Alan. And now it's time for our Artist Spotlight. Tonight we are featuring Fruits of the Spirit, Goodness, by Mary Lee Eggart. Baton Rouge native and resident, Eggart earned her Master's of Fine Arts at LSU and is now a research associate in cartographic design and scientific illustration there. Her new exhibit, Spirit Sanctus, opens tomorrow night at Lemieux Galleries on Julia Street, and with a reception from 6 to 8 p.m. on view through December the 28th. Visit LemieuxGalleries.org, or rather .com, for more information. A reminder that you can check out Steppin Out's online calendar at wyes.org, including Patrice McMurray's Holiday Jewelry Show the next 2 Saturdays, and the Faulkner Society's Words and Music Literary Feast this weekend. New Orleans Magazine's quiz queen, Julia Street, has a question for us. Last time, Nina Fiorella told us what true love gives on second and third days in the Benny Grunch version of the 12 Yats of Christmas. All right? Okay, so 2 Jacques recipes and 3 French breads. Now tonight's question. In conjunction with the Saints game, the Carolina Panthers once had a starting quarterback who was from Louisiana. Who was he and what town was he from? Send your answers to steppinout@wyes.org. Our prizes, and we have so many great prizes: a Louisiana Life magazine subscription, a gift certificate for Vianne's Tea House, offering their culinary and gourmet tea experience for 2. Tonight we have a T-shirt worn by WYES intern Stephen Goliambeski. Actually, he's a staff member now, with the message, "Dachshund through the snow," from our friends at wearablevegetables.com. We have the new Benny Grunch and the Brunch CD. Thank you, Benny. And we also have the Cajun Night Before Christmas ornament book, Precious. We also have the book Christmas New Orleans by John McGill and me. And Louisiana Eats, my Bobby Tucker. Yay! And Mardi Gras by Errol Laborde. And they're all published by Pelican, and thank you, Pelican. Plus, we have a family 4-pack of tickets to see Lightwire Theater, A Very Electric Christmas, on Saturday, December 14th at 3 p.m. or 8 p.m. at the Joy Theater. The show runs December 12th through December 22nd. JoyTheater.com for more info on that. Now, our picks. Poppy.
Such a great thing to do on Sunday night. You know, those taste buds have a new restaurant, Mizzata Cucina, and they are having a party to benefit Steve Gleason's Team Gleason. 10% of the proceeds between 5 p.m. to 11 p.m. That's at 5080 Pontchartrain Boulevard. You know where the original Semolina's used to be once upon a time?
Yeah.
And you can enter a raffle for a chance to win Steve Gleason's custom-restored 1965 Mustang Coupe.
Oh, wow. Gee.
It's going to be a great party.
Deborah, your website once again.
DeborahBurst.com. And again, you can see all the photos in my book, and also you can order the book directly from my website.
You've also got more book signings here, including
Yes.
the Marigny Opera House, too.
Yes, the
Very good.
Marigny Opera House is absolutely gorgeous. I really encourage everyone to come check it out.
The Old Holy Trinity.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Alan.
I want to remind everybody, in time for Christmas, Naughty, the list. That's going to be monologues and other renderings, if you will, by Jared Gore, Carrie Cahill, and a whole slew of people at the Elm Theater. It's going to be on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday at 8 p.m., and it's only $10.
Okay, Steven, once again, your website.
StevenForster.com, or you can Google me and find it that way.
We'll find you there.
Yeah.
Okay, great. And thank you. And before I go to my picks, I was a judge this week for the Mount Carmel Student Art Show. And I wanted to show you the tie that was created for me by student Charlotte Tully. I think we have photos of it too. But Ms. Tully certainly did her homework. You can see all these little items, including the Steppin Out logo and Mr. Bingle and Rex, and just great, great things. So now my picks, I'm going to tell you all about those too. Don't miss the Christmas Christmas Boutique. That's tomorrow from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. at the Petot House on Moss Street. Also tomorrow is the St. Nicholas Day Fair, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. in Dutch Alley at the French Market. And tomorrow at 11 a.m., Crescent City Auction Gallery is holding an auction of Mardi Gras memorabilia that belonged to the late John Scheffler. Visit crescentcityauction.com for more information on that. Holiday on the Boulevard is tomorrow. That's from noon to 8 p.m. at the Ache Cultural Arts Center on Aretha Castle Haley Boulevard. Visit achecac.org for more information on that. And Mary Fitzpatrick and the other authors will be signing their new book, Days and Nights in the Dreamy City. That's tomorrow evening from 5:30 to 7:30 at the Preservation Resource Center in the Warehouse District. And looking ahead, the annual Running of the Santas will take place. That's next Saturday, December 14th. Go to the runningofthesantas.com to learn more. And now we leave you with more from Vince Vance, who will be performing something about a Christmas tree. Take it away, Vince Vance.
I want to be a Christmas tree, sing and dance on MTV, with arms for branches and have green hair, pine cones in my underwear. I would be a Christmas tree, be the bestest tree in history. Tinsel on my nose, I'd look so fine. My underarms would smell like pine. That's why I want to be a Christmas tree. That's why I want to be a Christmas tree. I want to be a Christmas tree, eat the candy canes they hung on me. Since I'll be a tree, I wouldn't make a peep, open up my presents when they go to sleep. That's why I want to be a Christmas tree. Want to be song and dance on top of my head, stay up all night and never go to bed. Everyone would love me. My friends would say, hey, you're cool. I'd be a tree that could throw footballs and ride my bike to school. That's why I want to be a Christmas tree. I want to be a Christmas tree. Mom and Dad put them presents under me. Since I'd be a tree, I wouldn't make a peep, open up my presents when I went to sleep. That's why I want to be a Christmas tree. That's why I want to be a Christmas tree. That's why I want to be. That's why I want to be. That's why I want to be a Christmas tree. You better believe it. I'll have to take off my candy cane arms. Turn that off. This is called Turn It Off.